Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. EV Daryl coming at you. Tonight we're going to do the 10,000 mile review of my wife's 2024 Model Y dual motor, 7-passenger, white interior. Okay, so and as you've seen me do other videos with like with my Chevy Bolt, I do the good and the bad. You know, we talk about all the good and the bad with them. This is early, so you know there's really not going to be any issues. Everything's under warranty for the first 4 years or 50,000 miles. That's a bumper-to-bumper warranty. Then the drive motors and the high voltage battery is warranted for 120,000 miles. So, you know, that's not a big deal either. So what I want to do today, though, is I want to start with the bad. Normally we talk about I've seen tons of videos, and I love watching YouTube videos, but people talk for 15 minutes about how wonderful the car is, and then you get to the issues. We're going to do it in reverse today, okay? So I'm not one of those Tesla fanboys that thinks that the Tesla is the greatest thing of all time, and there's never anything bad, and there's never anything wrong, and there's no issues. I'm transparent with all of my stuff, whether it's the Chevy Bolt that we have, or whether it's the Tesla. So let's start with the bad. The one thing that has bothered me with Tesla is everything is an add-on, okay? The premium connectivity, which you really, I mean, you can get by without it, but the mapping system is phenomenal. I mean, it is so nice. You need that. That's why they give it to you for 30 days for free, okay? So that you'll come back and be like, ugh, I really need that mapping system. Or if you're traveling, it's nice for navigation, but also for all of the music. Tons of music. I mean, a lot. So that's extra. Now, that's $99 a year, so I went ahead and purchased the 99 bucks a year. But I got an email the other day that said possibly they're going to be getting rid of some of the music that's in the premium connectivity. And if they do, that's going to be an issue for me. Also, it doesn't come with a screen cover from the factory. Now, we have bought numerous accessories. I have no sponsors. I don't have enough viewership or anything like that for sponsors. So we have bought numerous add-ons that were things we wanted to buy. But the computer screen that runs everything on a Tesla doesn't come with a screensaver, a screen cover. You need to buy one of those. So we had to buy one of those. The carpeting that comes with a Tesla, I mean, these are premium vehicles in my eyes. It's carpeted floor mats that I just wasn't overly impressed with. And so we upgraded and purchased a couple of accessories. We've got the hard plastic form-fitted mats for the front driver, front passenger, and for the second row. We got that in there, and it's a nice, it's a kind of what they call it, a spill saver. If somebody spills something, it's got the edges, the formed edges, so that things won't spill out. And they're easy to clean up, whether I wipe them down, hose them down. I can vacuum them out if it's just dirt. They're very, very easy to take care of. Those are some of the things. You know, just this past Friday, I just ordered HomeLink, the garage door opener service. It doesn't come with it either. So when you think you're purchasing a premium vehicle, a prime example is my wife's minivan. When we purchased her Honda Odyssey minivan off of a lease, it was a 3-year-old vehicle off of a lease, it came with HomeLink. A lot of vehicles in that range, HomeLink is built in. You shouldn't have to spend $350 to get HomeLink added. But we did. Now, I'll try to do a video. They said they're coming like October 25th, I believe, to do their, I wanted a mobile install because I want it done, and I want them to show me how to do it at our house. And then I can add on 2 more addresses, and both of my daughters, I will go to their houses and add in their garages. So we'll have 3 garage door openers, basically, at 3 different locations. But I want them to show me on my house. It's free. Well, it's included in my $350 purchase. So that will be done. And then by the end of October, if I can get my daughter's 2 houses added in, we'll have that done. It's just, those are the kind of things, those were all of the things I added. I just kept writing add-on and add-on and add-on. All of that should have been included. And if you buy, here's the deal. I bought the mid-size, well, actually, the best-selling car in the United States, the Model Y. That's what I bought. The mid-range, as I want to call it, in the Tesla fleet. If you bought a Model X or a Model S, it comes with HomeLink included. But you're also spending an extra $30,000, $40,000, you know? I mean, but the Model 3 and the Model Y does not come with it automatically. So another $350, okay? So those were the biggest drawbacks in our, when my wife and I were talking last night, basically she mentioned, I said, what are your issues with the car? And there are no issues with the car. It is, well, we had to buy the floor mats, and we needed to buy HomeLink, and we needed to buy a screensaver. You know, we don't, the thing that runs the entire car, because there's no dashboard, there's nothing else besides that. You want that protected. You have to have a screen protector. Again, I mean, it was cheap. Our floor mats were cheap. And I'll go through and see if I can find them. Hang on just a second. All right, I'm back. Let's go over some of these accessories that I purchased. Now, the screen cover was $23.99 to protect the computer screen, okay? My floor mats, here we go. 3D floor mats were $59.99, and I really like them. I really like those. But you know what? Let's go through some of ours. Now, a lot of these are things we wanted to get, not things that we had to get. And some were in the middle. You know, where the screensaver was a mandatory and things like that were mandatory. The floor mats, you didn't have to have them, but it's kind of in the middle. Anyway, I grabbed I wanted to get a tire tread depth finder. I've had trouble locating one, so I picked one of those up for $3.99. It always tells me when I'm in, when I need to replace my tires. It'll give me the tread depth. And I think they gave me 2 of those for $3.99. Jack pads, $18.99, okay? The jack pads, as you should know, on a Tesla, they're the round rubber pad that has a little hole in it, and it pops up. And I had it on one of my tire rotations, if you look back and see my Tesla Model Y tire rotation. Because that, you want to lift with those lift pads. That's what you want to lift the car with, okay? So we got those for $18.99, and it comes in a nice container, a nice box, everything really, really nice. It's a nice setup. So then we had the screen cover that we got for $23.99. We also ended up buying the sunshade inside in case we're down in Florida and it's, you know, 95 degrees. So the sunshade was $49.99 that we got on the inside. And I bought a front license plate holder because, now I had to pay $57.99 for this, but it's a locking front license plate holder, okay? But I bought that because Tesla was going to use 3M tape and stick it to the front bumper. I didn't want that. And you've seen in a couple of my car wash videos, maybe you can see it. It fits into the grill, and it's got a key, a locking key, and it actually expands and locks to the grill. It doesn't block the grill, it goes up above, locks in. It's a really nice setup. Again, shouldn't have to spend $57.99 for that, but we did. We bought rear mud flaps. The Model Y came with front mud flaps, but not rear mud flaps. So I paid $38.31 for the rear mud flaps. Also, the paint protection film that I had put on. I didn't do that with my Chevy Bolt, and I've got scratches, paint scratches all over my car in 40,000 miles. This one, I spent $1,550 to get the paint protection film, PPF, put on, okay? We bought some, I had seen some videos for people who said they had the white seats, that the second row seat belts, when you pull the seat belts over for the grandkids over and over and over, the black would make a mark on them. So we bought seat belt extenders, which cover that. They snap in, they cover that, and then the seat belt goes over the top of them. Those were $19.99. So I also bought a second EVSE, or some people call them electric chargers. I have one for the Chevy, and it came with my Chevy. I have an adapter from Tesla. It came with an adapter, so I can use that on my Tesla. But I found one that was a 32 amp, which is what I wanted, because I only have a 40 amp breaker in my house, so I wanted a 32 amp. It's a charger, another one. I've used it exclusively now. So anyway, I paid $119.36 for that, okay? So as you can see now, the add-ons are starting to add up. There's a lot of expenses, okay? Now that I wanted because we're gonna take that to Florida with us, that charger, I'm gonna take to Florida, and if I find a location, my condo doesn't have charging, but if I have other locations and I need a charger, I will have one. Then I will leave my General Motors charger with the Bolt, and if one of my daughters or granddaughter needs to drive it, they can plug it into 110. I have an adapter, the 220 pulls out, the 110 pulls in, or 120 pulls in. One of my daughters used it for 3 weeks while they had a car in the shop, and just plugged it in the garage and used it on the 110. Gained about 50-mile charge over a 12-hour period. So I want to have that available for them while we're gone, if we're going to South Florida, which we're going to go in a couple weeks. So I want to have that available, so it's better to have both. And then in case I ever have a problem and one of them doesn't work, I can switch out right away, and I'm not without a charger. All right, so here we are again. I forgot, I was looking up something here, and I couldn't figure out what it was. For $12.92, we also ordered lock adapters, which the Model Y comes with a J1772 adapter, which there's a lot of, like when we were out in Estes Park, there's a lot of J1772 free charging. So the Tesla comes with the adapter, fits on the end of my nozzle, and then I can plug it into a J1772 to charge. Like we did at a parking garage numerous times in Estes Park, Colorado on vacation. But to make sure somebody doesn't just walk up and unplug it, there's a lock adapter that fits between those two, between the adapter. It's an actual, it doesn't allow you to push the button. So it's nice to put that in, and then you can plug it in, and then somebody can't just come along and push the button, unplug it, and steal your adapter. So I have that. Okay, so basically add-ons are the negative all around. And a lot of those, you know, I have 10 or 11 different things that we bought. The screensaver's a must. The jack pads, I don't think my local shop, when I get to the point, now I rotate my tires myself, I needed the jack pads. And also my local shop, when I end up rotating or changing the tires, hopefully they get, you know, 60,000 miles out of them. That would be fantastic. But anyway, when I get a new set of tires, I want to take the jack pads after that because I have free tire rotation at my local service center. And I don't want them hitting metal on the bottom of that near the framework. You know, there's a reason why they have jack pads. So those are necessary. Did we need, what else did we need? Did I have to have floor mats? No. Did I have to have mud flaps? No. Did I have to have the front plate? No. Did I have to have the seatbelt extenders? No. You know, we bought things like hubcap centers, like the little bitty plastic covers and little red Tesla centers. We liked the rims, so we took off the Aero wheel covers for the summer. I've got them back on, headed to Florida. A lot of those things, did we need them? Did we have to have them? No. But there were a couple, like I said, the screensaver's a must. Did I need to have HomeLink? No. We've got a garage door opener. We can do that. But when you're going to a lot of people, we do a lot of driving. So we're at my daughter's houses. We're dealing with grandkids, whether it's soccer or dance or play practice or whatever. We're coming and going a lot. And it's nice, once this gets installed, to roll up, you know, I'm doing this. It's not up here. It'll be on the computer screen. And hit one of my daughter's garage doors and have it open. We don't need garage doors, openers hanging from our mats, okay? So those talking about the bads, you know, I wish we didn't have so many add-ons. I wish you bought a premium car and all of those were included. You should be able to roll into that. If you bought a new Lexus, HomeLink's included. They have really nice floor mats. They have, when you feel like you're in a premium vehicle and you don't need to do that. Now, Lexus doesn't have a computer screen that runs the entire car. So they don't have a screen protector. You need to buy one. But I'm just saying that should come with it. Everything, you should walk out of Tesla and they should say, everything is here. There you go. There's no more purchases. You don't need to buy anything. There you go. So, but next, we're going to cover the positives. Okay, so from the good side, as you would expect in 10,000 miles, there's nothing wrong with the car. The car drives like a dream. Everything is top notch. My wife was saying since it's her car and she drives it 90% of the time, she was a little concerned moving away from an internal combustion engine vehicle, going to a fully electric car. But it was her idea that she'd be willing to try it. She adapted really well. And she even says that. I actually adapted way quicker than I ever thought I would. Way quicker. She had no complaints. I was asking her last night. Issues, nothing. On the positive side, she said it's a fun car to drive. It's quick. It handles great. It cruises great. All of the software, you know, my wife and I should speak for myself. I think I'm kind of computer savvy a little bit. This car is technology to the nth level, okay? It's one of the things I like is we have easy entry mode. When you put the car in park and you take your seatbelt off, the steering wheel goes in and up, the seat moves back. They call it easy entry, but it should be easy exit, because then you can get in and out of the car with nothing in the way. When you get in the car and you put your seatbelt on or put your foot on the brake, it notifies, it knows who's driving. I'd say 98% of the time, even if my wife and I get in the car at the same time, 98% of the time it knows who's driving. And it will move the mirrors, it will move the steering wheel, and it will move the seat to my settings that are preset. That is awesome. And my wife's settings, same thing with her. When she's driving, she gets in the car, it goes right to her settings. The mirrors, everything. You don't have to keep setting mirrors and moving steering wheels out of the way and moving your seat, stuff like that. They're all preset. And I like not having a key. In my Bolt, it's a push button start, and I can admit now, the amount of times I've walked out of my house, went to go in the Bolt, and realized, forgot to grab my key fob. Back in the house, grab the key fob, because in the Tesla, as long as you have your cell phone, you got it. That's your key. That's it. You're golden. Off you go. So I didn't think I would enjoy that as much as I have. That is a really, really nice setup. And just everything, you know, autopilot. My wife and I went out yesterday driving. We drove about 125, 135 miles. This is October, so the trees are turning. We have some areas probably, well, we went to lunch down in, where are we at? Canton, Illinois? Yeah. There's some thing called Spoon River Drive that we have that's a huge, I guess there's about 10 or 12 towns that have garage sales during a couple of weeks of October. Those were over with yesterday. We just had the day to go and drive. The trees are just starting to turn. Probably another week or so would have been better. But we had the chance, we had the day, out we went. And setting autopilot at 55 mile an hour and a 55, it'll drive for you. Now, it's not full self-driving, so it's not taking me to a location. It'll stay on, say I'm on State Route 24. It's a 2-lane, and I have the cruise set at, say, 57 mile an hour in a 55. It will keep me at that until I come on a vehicle in front of me, and it'll slow down for the vehicle in front of me. But it will keep me on Route 9 or Route 24 or whatever state route I'm on, or whatever route I'm on, county road, gravel road. It'll keep me on that road forever. It's not going to turn. I need to take off. It's kind of like taking the cruise control off and making a turn if I need to turn and turn onto another state route or whatever. But it's kind of nice. It did really, really well yesterday. We had one incident of phantom braking where a car was coming at us on a 2-lane road, and it got close to center, and the car, it didn't do a heavy phantom braking. It slowed down just a couple mile an hour and then sped back up. So it was fine. Now what I noticed, and something I wish Tesla would do, is when you're in autopilot, it keeps you in the dead center of your lane. 50-50. You are in the center. I normally don't drive in the dead center. I like to drive a little bit away from the center line, say 60-40. Tesla either should allow that adjustment or they should make that adjustment. It's currently set up at the factory that you are in the dead center of your lane, which is the proper way to drive. But a lot of us like to drive, I'm not on the white line by any means, but literally 5 to 10% away from the center lane. I want to have more of a reaction time in case somebody is coming over the center line. If I'm 10% over this way, that means I only have to react 90% quicker, not 100% quicker, because I'm already a little bit farther away. So again, I mean, it's you don't have that issue if you don't have autopilot, which drives for you. You know, you drive wherever you want to drive anyway. But when you set autopilot, it will move to the exact 50% center of your lane. You will have the exact same amount of distance from your left wheels to the center lane as you do from your passenger side wheels to the fog line. You are literally right there. So that might be an update down the road, that they move it and say, you know what, let's get people away from the center lane. Just, you know, let's move it to 55-45 or 60-40 towards the fog line. You know, whichever. But we thoroughly enjoy the car. It's again, it's only 10,000 miles. What I wanted to tell you is, and I'll show you a video here fairly quick. I had reset a lifetime when we purchased the car. I put lifetime on my trip odometer, number 2, I guess it's trip 2 or whatever. I want and hopefully I don't ever have that on as a reset. I can have lifetime watt hours per mile. They don't use miles per kilowatt. You have to do the math, which isn't that difficult. But anyway, on your car. So in 10,000 miles, my car has averaged 261 watt-hours per mile, or 3.83 miles per kilowatt. Okay. Now, on the trip to Florida, we took a trip out to Estes Park. When you're running 75 and 80 on the interstate, you're not getting 3.83 miles per kilowatt. Okay. So I have a couple thousand miles out to Estes Park, Colorado and back. Now we're going to have probably 3,000 miles, 2,500 down to Florida and back. That is going to cut into that. But also that means that driving around town, stop and go, and run into the grandkids, run into the daughter's houses, the stuff that we do every day is a lot higher than 3.83 miles per kilowatt. Okay. So I'm averaging 3.83 miles per kilowatt, but I don't remember when we got back from Estes Park if I was at 3.4. I don't remember exactly where we were at. So I might have to look back and see if we can find that. But in general, you know, what can I say? Right now, we love the car. It's a great car. And with me charging overnight at about 2 cents a kilowatt, 1.8 cents a kilowatt, I mean, I've been averaging 129 miles per gallon. I had one of the viewers ask me, like on my Chevy Bolt, it's really easy to tell when I've driven 33.7, when I've used 33.7 kilowatt hours. That's equal to 1 gallon of gas, okay? So that's pretty easy. My center console in the Chevy Bolt resets to 0 when I get it charged. Well, when I get up to 33.7, I just look down and see that I'm averaging 4.5 miles per kilowatt. The other day it was 151 miles per gallon. Not too shabby, not too shabby. So when I look at I took the 261 watt, I'm averaging 261 watt hours or 3.83 miles per kilowatt with the Model Y. And when I did the math on that, it ended up being 129 miles per gallon that I'm getting over the last 10,000 miles, 129. And when you do the math and you're starting to pay for 1.9 or 2 cents a kilowatt, is it 60 cents, 65 cents to something like that, 50, 60 cents to go 100 miles, 129 miles. I mean, it's dirt cheap. Seen a lot of videos out there of people coming up with their own versions of how electric cars are massively expensive and way more expensive. Anyway, I can't do that kind of math. I mean, I have common sense math. So it's just, if you just do the math, it's very simple how cheap it is compared to a internal combustion engine, a gas car. So, and we charge, I looked at the Tesla also on the app on there, it has that I've saved, I think $1,031 over a gas car right now. It takes into account how much supercharging I've done, how much charging at home. It has other for like if I go to the library and I charge for free. And I think 5% of the time it's other, listed as other because it's free. I've got a couple, 3 places that I go that I don't pay anything to charge. So if I get 25 miles here, 35 miles here, 35. So it's showed me, I think it's at $1,023 I've saved in 10,000 miles over gas. So $1,000 every 10. So what is that? $10,000 in 100,000 miles. And we're not talking about maintenance either. So it's all, I mean, we're really impressed, really good. So I won't bore you anymore. If you have any comments, please list them below. If I forgot something, ask me and I'll put it back in the comments. So other than that, please like, subscribe, and we'll keep them coming. Appreciate it. We're going to head to Florida here in the next couple weeks. We'll do a road trip video of that down to Florida, assuming that's going to be kind of boring, but I don't know. We haven't taken it to Florida, so we'll see. All right. Take care, everybody.